Something is moving beneath the surface of the Persian Gulf. Silent, dark, invisible. Iran just deployed their most sophisticated underwater weapons system directly at a U.S. Navy submarine. They have no idea the submarine already knows they are there, has known for 11 minutes, and is already behind them. This ends in 60 seconds. Persian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz approach, 0247 hours local time. Complete darkness above the surface, complete darkness below it. Water temperature 28 degrees Celsius. Thermocline layer at 80 meters depth. The thermocline is a boundary between warm surface water and cold deep water. Sound travels differently above and below it. Submarines use it, hide beneath it, listen through it. Tonight it is the difference between being found and staying invisible. The USS Hartford has been running silent beneath the Persian Gulf for 16 days. Los Angeles-class fast attack submarine, 110 meters long. 7,800 ton submerged displacement. For Mark 48 ADCAP torpedo tubes. 12 vertical launch tubes for Tomahawk cruise missiles, running at 60 meters depth. 6 knots, passive sonar only, no active emissions. No radar, no radio, just listening. The Inabi QQ-10 sonar system processes acoustic data continuously. Every motor, every propeller, every hull creak in the Gulf within 50 miles. All of it classified, all of it tracked, all of it understood. The Hartford crew knows everything moving in this water tonight, including the 2 contacts that left Bandar Abbas 3 hours ago. Iran's underwater drone program did not begin last year. It began in 2017, 6 years of development. 3 generations of vehicles. The version deployed tonight is their most capable. The Hoot-3, named after the Iranian word for whale, 4.2 meters long. Electric propulsion, acoustic homing seeker. Programmed with the acoustic signature database of every U.S. Navy vessel class operating in the Gulf, speed 28 knots submerged. Operational depth to 100 meters. Warhead 80 kilograms of shaped explosive. Designed not to sink a submarine, designed to damage the propulsion system. Crack the pressure hull, force an emergency service. Make the submarine visible, vulnerable to Hoot-3 drones deployed from surface vessels at 0236 hours. Both now running at 45 meters depth, both acoustic seekers active. Both searching for the Hartford, both finding nothing, because the Hartford is not where they are looking. The Hartford sonar operator classifies the drone contacts at 0238 hours. 11 minutes after deployment to contacts. Bearing 047 and 052, speed 28 knots. Depth 45 meters, motor signature matches Iranian UUV database entry. Hoot-class underwater vehicle, probably Hoot-3 based on acoustic signature refinement. The sonar operator makes the call. Con, sonar, to hostile UUV contacts bearing 047 and 052, speed 28 knots, depth for 5 meters, classify Iranian Hoot-3, both on intercept course, time to weapon range approximately 14 minutes. The Hartford's commanding officer does not panic. Does not emergency surface, does not run. He does 3 things. First thing, the Hartford accelerates to 15 knots and descends to 140 meters. Below the thermocline, the temperature boundary reflects sound upward. The drones are running at 45 meters above the thermocline. Their acoustic seekers are looking for the Hartford's signature. The Hartford moves its signature below the boundary. The drones are now listening through a layer of water that bends and distorts sound. The Hartford's acoustic signature drops dramatically. The drones begin searching. Second thing, the Hartford deploys an WLY-1 acoustic countermeasure. A torpedo decoy, small, self-propelled, programmed to replicate the exact acoustic signature of a Los Angeles-class submarine. Motor noise, hull resonance, reactor cooling pump frequency, all replicated, all broadcast. From a position 400 meters behind where the Hartford just was. The drones find the signature immediately, redirect, accelerating toward the decoy. Third thing, the Hartford turns hard right, coming around to bearing 047, directly at drone contact 1. Speed increasing to 25 knots, the Mark 48 ADCAP torpedo tube outer door opens. 1 torpedo loaded, wire guided. The sonar operator is feeding continuous updates. Drone contact 1 bearing 042 now, speed 28 knots, depth for 2 meters, closing on decoy. Estimated impact decoy in for minutes 20 seconds. The Hartford does not fire yet, it waits. The drones close on the decoy. Both now tracking the same target, both accelerating. Both confident they have found the Hartford. At 0 to 51 hours drone contact, 1 is 200 meters from the decoy. Seeker locked. Final attack run. The Hartford fires. 1 Mark 48 ADCAP torpedo, wire-guided. The torpedo clears the tube at 55 knots. Active sonar seeker activating at 150 meters. Finding drone contact 1 immediately. The drone is 28 knots. The torpedo is 55 knots. The geometry is not survivable. At 0 to 51 hours and 34 seconds, the Mark 48 detonates for meters from drone contact 1. The Hoot 3 ceases to exist. Drone contact detects the explosion. Its programming includes threat response protocols. It turns away from the explosion bearing. Accelerating to maximum speed, heading deeper, trying to run. The Hartford is already repositioning. Tube to loaded, bearing solution updated. Second torpedo away at 0 to 52 hours and 11 seconds. Drone contact 2 is running at maximum speed. 28 knots, diving through 80 meters. 90 meters, trying to get below 100 meters where the torpedo seeker performance degrades. It reaches 94 meters. The Mark 48 reaches it first. Drone contact ceases to exist at 0 to 52 hours and 58 seconds. Total elapsed time from first torpedo fire to second drone destroyed. 1 minute and 24 seconds, both drones gone. Hartford undamaged. Hartford undetected by any Iranian surface vessel. The surface vessels that deployed the drones are still on station. Still waiting for their drones to complete their mission. Still unaware that both drones have been destroyed. Still unaware that a U.S. Navy submarine is now 1,400 meters from their position. Still unaware that 2 Mark 48 torpedo tubes are pointed directly at them. The Hartford does not fire on the surface vessels. Rules of engagement do not authorize offensive action against surface vessels that have not fired on U.S. assets. The drones were the weapon. The drones are gone. The Hartford logs the surface vessel positions, records their acoustic signatures, records their electronic emissions. All of it transmitted to 5th Fleet in Bahrain via extremely low-frequency radio. Then the Hartford turns, returns to its patrol route. Resumes 6 knots, resumes listening, as if nothing happened. Because from the Hartford's perspective, nothing significant did happen. 2 drones entered the water, 2 drones were destroyed. The submarine never surfaced. Never revealed its position, never stopped its mission. The Iranian surface vessels returned to Bandar Abbas 3 hours later. Their logs show a successful drone deployment exercise. Because their logs do not know their drones are at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, they will not know until they try to recover them. And find nothing there. Now let us talk about what this engagement reveals about the state of undersea warfare in the Persian Gulf right now. Because the Hoot 3 program represents Iran's most serious investment in anti-submarine capability, and it failed completely. But understanding why it failed is more important than knowing that it failed. The Hoot-3 acoustic homing system relies on a database of target signatures. That database was built from passive intelligence collection. Acoustic recordings of U.S. Navy vessels operating in the Gulf over many years. The signatures in that database are real. They are accurate for the vessels that were recorded. At the time they were recorded, the problem is acoustic signatures are not static. They change. New propeller coatings, modified reactor cooling systems, vibration dampening improvements. The Los Angeles-class submarines that operate in the Gulf today sound different from the Los Angeles-class submarines that were recorded building Iran's target database. Different enough that the seeker is searching for a signature that does not precisely match what the Hartford is actually producing. Which is why the decoy worked. The decoy was programmed with the older signature profile. The signature Iran's database expected to find. The seeker found the match it was looking for and followed it to destruction. The Mark 48 ADCAP torpedo that destroyed both drones entered service in 1972. It has been continuously upgraded since. The version in service today shares almost nothing with the original except the external dimensions. New seeker, new guidance system, new propulsion, new warhead. It is one of the most capable anti-submarine and anti-surface weapons ever built. Against a 4.2-meter drone running at 28 knots, it is not a fair contest. It was never going to be a fair contest, but here is what should concern U.S. Navy planners. Iran learned something from this engagement, even though they do not know the engagement happened. When their drones do not return, they will begin analysis. They will review the deployment profiles. They will look at the acoustic environment data their surface vessels collected. They will notice anomalies in the acoustic picture that suggest a submarine was present. They will refine their analysis, and they will draw conclusions. Conclusions that will feed into the Hoot-4 development program, which is already underway. The Hoot-4 is not designed to find a stationary target. It is designed to find a target that is actively evading. It carries two seekers, acoustic and magnetic anomaly detection. Magnetic anomaly detection does not care about acoustic signatures. It detects the magnetic field distortion caused by a submarine steel hull moving through water. You cannot mask a magnetic field with a decoy. You cannot change your magnetic signature by modifying your propeller coating. The Hoot-4 is Iran's answer to the countermeasures that defeated the Hoot-3. It is not ready yet, but it is coming. The US Navy knows it is coming, which is why the degaussing systems on Gulf-deployed submarines have been upgraded 3 times in the past for years. Degaussing reduces the magnetic signature of a submarine hull by running electrical current through cables embedded in the hull, counteracting the natural magnetism of the steel. The upgraded system reduces magnetic signature by 40% compared to the previous generation. The Hoot-4 magnetic seeker is calibrated against the magnetic signature profile of a standard degaussed Los Angeles-class submarine. The upgraded degaussing system puts the Hartford's magnetic signature below the Hoot-4 seeker's detection threshold. For now, until Iran measures the new signature profile and recalibrates. And the cycle continues. The Strait of Hormuz is still open tonight. The oil is still flowing, 17 million barrels per day. Passing over water that is not empty, has never been empty. Beneath the surface right now, there are submarines running their silent circuits, listening to everything, known to no one, tracking every contact, recording every signature, ready for whatever Iran deploys next. And the engineers in the Iranian underwater weapons program are working tonight, building the Hoot-4, incorporating every lesson from every failure. Getting closer, always getting closer. The US Navy engineers are also working tonight, getting further ahead, always further ahead. That gap is measured in years. Right now, it is enough. The question that keeps the planners awake at night is not whether the gap exists. It is whether it will still exist in 5 years. Stay locked in.